The real estate sector plays an important role in our Indian economy in terms of GDP. It is also the second largest employer in our country after agriculture. The bill aims to regulate the real estate sector, bringing in transparency, accountability, credibility, and protect the consumer interests. The purpose of this bill is to regulate the residential and commercial real estate sector and establish state-wise real estate regulation authorities. The real estate tribunals to review the decisions of the RERs in order to boost overall consumer confidence in the sector. While I fully support the need to protect the interests of the consumers, I express my reservation and just concerns in some of the provisions contained in the bill, which may adversely impact the progress of the real estate sector towards its own onward march. The frequent complaint against the developers is the delay in execution of the projects. The delay in approvals is the single biggest factor behind the delay in execution. However, the proposed regulator has no powers to ensure that regulatory and statutory approvals are given on time. There is no mention of any accountability of public authorities or institutions which provide approvals, especially in terms of timelines. There should be provisions for deemed approval clause as contained in Hyderabad Municipal Corporation Act 1955, as it is often observed that the public authorities tend to the misuse of their power, dispute written commitments. They do not provide the essential services for years. It affects the customer adversely as he pays the higher cost because of project delays due to the delay in approvals. The provision of keeping 70% of amounts deposited in a separate account for the prescribed real estate project is an impartial provision. Typically, land cost is a big chunk of the project cost, which the developer incurs long before the project comes up for the sale. Historically, cost of raising capital for real estate developers has been enormously high. By denying the developer access to sale procedures, this provision would not only adversely impact the speedy execution of the project, but would also squeeze the supply side of the housing dwelling units, adversely affecting the customer. The real estate activity is governed and controlled by so many state laws at present, and the complaints of builders is that they are subject to obtain number of clearances for development of projects, and they are required to approach various departments, resulting in huge expenditure and causing abnormal delay in part of the bureaucracy. The Act should not become one more layer of bureaucracy regulating the field, and hence this Act should have overriding effect on all state laws except the laws regulating the granting of permits and sanctions. The authorities under the state laws having power to grant permits and sanctions for construction should also be brought within the control of the provisions of this Act, so that any abnormal delays or violations committed by the permitting authorities shall be subject to appropriate action under this Act. The proposed giving of retrospective effect to the present Act will not serve the purpose, and the other hand will result in the failure of entire machinery. In respect of the existing project as on today, the permits were already granted, the agreements were already entered, the construction is already in progress, and hence, subject to the pending projects to the provisions of this Act is not workable either technically or statutorily. Hence, the present law shall be made applicable to only those projects to which permits and sanctions are to be accorded subsequent to the enforcement of this Act. The requirement of deposit of 70% of sale proceeds into the escrow bank account of the project will not yield good results, and on the other hand, the appropriate authority may create hurdles from time to time in disbursement of funds in exercise of various powers vested with him, and will ultimately delay the project. Further, out of the total price to be collected from per apartment, 60 to 70% of the same only represents the cost of undivided share of land, and the balance only towards construction cost. Hence, Making the builder to deposit 70% of the total amount will not allow the builder to recover the cost of land by single stage having invested huge amount for the acquired land. Hence, such requirement of deposit can be brought down to 50%. I have had first-hand information about the difficulties forced by the developers in ensuring the completion of the project work in the scheduled time. Keeping in view of it, I would appeal to the, just 1 minute, sir. Appeal to the government to give proper representation to the developers by nominating them in National Real Estate Development, NAREDCO and its state bodies, in all the appellate authority boards to represent the case effectively from the developer side also, both at the state and central level. Similarly, my another submission to the government would be that all ongoing pending projects till date are exempted from the preview of this act. In the interest of the real estate sector, this act should be implemented with effect from 1/4/2016. Okay. Last minute, sir. With regard to the provisions to set up an independent institutional framework of a real estate regulatory authority and an appellate tribunal in this bill, the government should ensure that there is uniformity access the country in terms of real estate regulatory authorities, appellate tribunals and other functioning. Honest, efficient and persons having with impeccable character should be appointed for smooth functioning of the regulatory tribunals. With these words, I support the bill, sir.
You sit down. आपको शर्म है? भारत माता का वंदना करने में भी आपको शर्म है?
जो नारा नहीं लगाते भारत माता की जय का, उनको सिखाना पड़ेगा। मोहन भागवत साहब, मैं नहीं लगाता नारा, क्या करते आप?